been a professional DJ for 14 years. She has spun all over the planet. But what's most exciting is she's spinning at Victoria's Secrets and for the Marine Corps. Now there's a match. Today she's going to be talking about money in the bank, social media for DJs. Strategy straight from Wall Street. A warm welcome for Stacey.
I was going to do the whole get to know each other thing. By the way, you guys, like A+ on that. I'm very happy. Please leave at the end of this week if it's your first time with a stack of new business cards. So I am not seeing my slides. There's my slides. Who is on Strava? Who's my Strava people? We got like 2 hands. Okay. Look me up, Stacey Nichols. I'll call you back. For those of you who don't know, this is like a fitness app. And this morning I ran to the UNLV track, which is like 1.5 miles. I'm a sprinter, so I'm like already tired when I get there. I did a segment, which is where you can compete against other people who have a watch that ran the same route, right? I ran 4 seconds better on the 300-meter dash than any woman that's ever run that route on the UNLV track. That's women of all ages. So 4 seconds off that record, and then I was like 17 seconds up on my group. So I am super pumped to be here right now because I'm just on a huge high from doing that. So got a lot of energy for you today. We're going to basically talk about social media, which I know a lot of you guys have heard so many times before. So I thought it would be fun to talk about this thing that we need to keep talking about every year as things update and change. To talk about it through the lens of investing, right? Because you have an investment portfolio, and there's a lot of overlap in the line of thinking and how you kind of set up your investment portfolio and how you're going to invest in social media. So that would be a fun way to present the material. I'm going to start with just some general investing advice that's true for any platform. We'll look at some sample portfolios. We're going to talk about our blue chips, the stocks, which are content marketing. And we'll get into our ETFs, Pinterest, day trading, Instagram, bonds, Facebook. Are you guys liking my comparisons, the investors here? Okay, cool. And alternative investments is TikTok. So if you guys want to get a picture of this, these are the ideal times when you want to be posting on your social platforms. You'll notice that midnight on Saturday is not one of those ideal times, and that is when almost every single person in this room, almost every week, is posting. So other DJs are going to be, seeing what you post, but if you want to make sure that potential clients are seeing that stuff, keep this in mind the other times. This is something I say literally every seminar I give on social media. 57% of users get annoyed when brands are too promotional on social media. Now, I have said this literally for like 5 years, and I'm still seeing DJs that I know attend my seminars that are doing this. So I thought this year I'm going to explain in black and white so there's no confusion what is too promotional. This is a general rule. I'm sure you guys have heard of this before, the 80-20 rule. And it basically just says that you should be devoting about 80% of your social media energy to content. Entertaining your followers, giving them beautiful pictures to look at, giving them interesting information. 20% should be on promotional lists. What tends to happen is we fall one way or the other. We are either 100% promotional, and we have no story, there's nothing real to connect to there at all. Or we go on the other spectrum, where it's all story, and we never mention, like, oh yeah, by the way, you can hire me. Right? We tend to kind of go one way or the other. So it's okay to mention, hey, I've got some new lights, or, it's okay to promote yourself a little bit. If you fall on the other side of that spectrum, this is what your Instagram might look like. It is pure stock photos. I don't see a face anywhere. I don't see a client anywhere. I have nothing real or raw to connect with in any way. There's no story in any of these images. If your Instagram looks like this, you are overly promotional. This is what your post might look like. And this is where the phone book ad thing comes in, because I feel like this reads like a phone book ad. Birthday coming up? Let us be your DJ for your special day. Get in touch with us today, random / link in bio. 2 likes. That is a phone book ad. That is not an Instagram post. So I'm going to bring Jeff Foxworthy into it. Your post might be too promotional if you have ever posted the details of one of your DJing packages. Now, I don't mean that, like, hey, we have 3 different packages. I mean the actual nuts and bolts of what's in the package. That is too promotional. If you regularly include phrases like, contact us today, and free quotes, okay? A call to action is fine, but free quotes, nobody is going to pay you for a quote. I just want to be upfront about that right now, okay? Please get rid of free quotes if you were saying that. If you frequently include your phone number or your email in a caption, okay, please don't make these people feel dumb. They know where your link button is. They know how to find your contact information. They know how to Google, okay? No need to put your phone number or your email address. If you've ever started a social post with, do you need a DJ? Again, these are not phone book ads. These are Instagram posts. Okay, so a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago, I saw Gary Vaynerchuk at Social Media Marketing World. He did the keynote, and it just totally rocked my world, right? So I bought his book. One of the things that he mentioned in that keynote, which I think is a great way to think about for DJs, if you don't have that proper balance of promotional and good content with your marketing, you're like a song that's all build up and has no drop, or you're like a song that's all drop and has no build up. Neither are good, right? He's comparing it to boxing. He's saying that your jabs are your lightweight pieces of content that benefit your customers by making them laugh, snicker, ponder, play a game, feel appreciated, or escape. Right hooks are your calls to action that benefit your businesses. There is no sale without the story. No knockout without the setup. Again, it's like a good song. If there's no build-up, the drop doesn't mean anything. So you need to make sure that you are being real in your post. Show us behind the scenes. Talk to the camera. Turn the phone to your face and talk into it. I know that's super, super hard to do, but that's what it is. That's what's required to run a business in 2021. So this is Gary Vee. If you're not familiar with him, you can see he is a bastion of outrageous transparency and authenticity with his 5 o'clock shadow and his baseball cap, right? His t-shirt. That's one of the phrases that he used when I saw him in his keynote at Social Media Marketing World, and I have literally taught this every seminar that I have given since I heard him say it. But marketing today is about outrageous transparency and outrageous authenticity. Story. So I'm watching Gary on his, I think it was on his Instagram, and if you follow him, you might have saw this, it was recent. Somebody asked him about, he was chewing some gum or whatever, and he's like, you want to know something? Every time I chew a piece of gum, I swallow it. And this is a grown adult, like, come on. And he kind of like blushed. I mean, he was really embarrassed, but he's telling us this anyway. And he's like, no, it's ridiculous. I know it's really bad for me. I just feel it's weird to spit out gum. Like, I feel like I'm spitting toothpaste or something. I can't do it. So I just swallow it. Okay, that's outrageous transparency. That is outrageous authenticity. Also, something that I feel like it's really overlooked on social media is networking. We get so fixated on leads that we forget we can use social media to meet other DJs, to widen our circle. This is an example, all the screenshots, so it's kind of an example of what happened for me. So I'm on Instagram one day and I searched the hashtag San Diego female DJ. That leads me to DJ Jenny Pocket. She had a bunch of posts and I was like, great, I can meet somebody new. I connected with her, she invited me to a Facebook group, SoCal Female DJs. It was all nightclub DJs. I represent all the mobile DJs, right? So we're bringing together our 2 communities for the very first time. which was very exciting. And we literally doubled the size of our circle. This is a picture on the bottom from a meetup that we had, and Jenny, which is, that's why she's DJ Pocket, she's a tiny, her and I hosted a night together downtown. Diva, she was one of my guests at a night I hosted. Kinky Loops does the booking for this lesbian bar, and she invited all of us to play there. And I also met Courtney through this hashtag. Courtney, raise your hand. Yeah. Okay. So this is a real thing with real people. Okay, it's real people. You can meet other DJs and really get people to, loan equipment to, referrals. Like, these are things that are valuable for running our businesses. Okay, so another thing that I see a lot, that it's, we get lazy, oh, I gotta post something on Instagram today, and we forget to really look for engagement. We think, okay, I got the picture up, I'm done. I need to do a little bit extra effort, peel the onion layer back. Ask people to caption the photo. Ask them, what do you like better, A or B? Pose an open-ended question. Again, just ask for the sale, or ask for the like. Hey, you guys, I am 3 followers away from 5,000 followers. Can you please help me out? Give me 3 more follows. It's okay to say that. It's okay to be real. Like, people are going to be like, oh, look, she got to 5,000, or, whatever it is. Like, people care about your story. Okay, hashtags. Hashtags will double your rate of engagement. But not if you're using the wrong ones. There's a DJ in my market, and like every Saturday his hashtags are like, hashtag San Diego sunset, hashtag white dress. Do you know these people with those hashtags? Like, none of the hashtags ever say anything the bride would ever look up to find him. The red ones are the most important ones. Yeah, definitely get a picture. The most important hashtag you need to be using pretty much on any post that you're doing is your city DJ. Second after that would be your city wedding. If you spin at nightclubs, you might also do your city nightlife. Okay? Who knows what hashtag DDJT is? DDJT. Really? There has to be a hand up, and I'm like not saying. Yeah. Digital DJ tips. Please write this down. They post, I think every Friday, like 9 pictures of regular people that just follow them and use the hashtag. That's all you have to do to get featured. I've been featured twice, and every time I get featured, I get a bunch of new followers. Literally just for being on their page. I mean, I write for them too, but I highly doubt that the people that are on Instagram, I don't think people are making that connection. But digital DJ tips. And by the way, if you're not following them, it's a really great, platform to follow. They do a ton of tutorials. They have online classes. Really great content. Also make sure that on any post where there's music involved, tag your record pool. Any post where there's gear, tag the gear people. QSC Moments or Rain 72 or whatever it is. Okay. All right. We're going to talk about the portfolios. So this is kind of like a general, anybody, run-of-the-mill, average type of social media portfolio. So I'm going to say like 40% should be invested in content marketing, about 30% to Instagram, 20-ish Facebook, Pinterest 5, TikTok 5. Okay, this is just kind of a general idea of how you want to be like diversified across the different platforms. Quick note about Pinterest. Okay, this is the wedding industry. We all know that brides are on Pinterest. They all have a wedding board. So even though Pinterest is only 5% of where we're going to be putting our energy, in the same way, Pinterest is like your Roth IRA. Okay, it's not urgent, but it's really important. Okay, so it doesn't take a lot of time to make Pinterest work for you. Pinterest is about creating content. So when you create the content, that's the work of Pinterest. You've already got it done. Just need to make sure to make a pin of whatever the content was and put it up on Pinterest. So it runs itself. Okay, Pinterest is just a search engine for pictures in the same way that YouTube is a search engine for videos. You want to be on the search engines, right? And if you are someone that's like already blogging and you're putting up a couple of new posts every month, you write about all your weddings, you're doing all that kind of stuff, your investment strategy might look a little heavier on the content marketing, and probably I would lose on the Facebook. And this one too, I bumped up the Pinterest from 5 to 10, only because if you already understand how important content marketing is, I guarantee you already sold on Pinterest. And we're going to talk about Pinterest more again in a little bit. All right, let's say you're an influencer, okay? Your portfolio might look a little bit more like this. Say 50% of your energy to Instagram, 25% to TikTok, and then we're going to cut Facebook almost down to nothing, content marketing about 10. Content marketing doesn't mean it has to be on a blog. Content marketing can be on your Instagram. Anytime you create a new meme, a list, it doesn't really matter where you put it, that's content. So even though the focus may be more Instagram heavy, doesn't necessarily mean you're not creating content. So there's definitely some overlap. I'm going to walk you guys through all of these different platforms step by step if you're getting a little overwhelmed. Okay, so this is our blue chips, right? Our content marketing. So content marketing, if you're not familiar with this term, it's when you create any sort of high value content. Now that could be something entertaining, it doesn't always have to be like a list of tips, but any high value information and you give it away for free. That's content marketing. Now this is effective because it uses 4 of the 6 principles of influence. So reciprocity, basically I've given you something, so now you're more likely to want to give me something back, like hitting my contact button. Social proof. Have you ever been on those websites where they haven't posted a blog in like 3 years, and you're wondering, like, are they still in business? I'm not getting social proof, right? But if I have a consistent history of all these Instagram posts or of all these blog posts, like, okay, a little trustworthy, professionalism. Liking. If I give somebody something for free, they're likely to like me back, right? And again, be more likely to hit that contact button. And then authority. One of the blog posts I recommend everybody adds to their repertoire is after you work at a venue, you write up like 5 tips for having a wedding at such and such venue. Okay? This could just be as simple as like don't park in the back. The bathroom got really dirty after dinner. Lighting was like this. You know, the thermostat was too cold. You don't realize the information that we get on each new venue that we work at. You only have to do one event there. And as far as that client's concerned, you're an expert. So go ahead and write it up, okay? That's the principles of influence. And just kind of touching on millennials and Gen Z, content marketing is particularly important for this group of people, okay? They don't watch commercials. They don't engage, you know, they never had a phone book. You know, it's like none of that kind of advertising has ever been a part of their reality. So it's even more important to connect with our market that you are using these strategies, particularly content marketing. And again, in the spirit of authenticity, I want to share just some proof for you guys that people will see good content and contact you just based on that alone, okay? I actually found you through your blog about my menu, super helpful info. I've been reading your blog and loving your passion for what you do. I saw your bio and I also came across your blog. After reading your blog post, I seriously felt like you were reading my mind. You were just what we were looking for in a DJ. How did you hear about me on my blog? I get leads like this all the time, okay? About 2-ish years ago, maybe more, I quit paying for ads from the Knot. I just want you to take 1 second and think about how much money in 1 year you sent to the Knot. $10,000-ish, okay? Well, at least that's what it costs in San Diego. It might be cheaper in some other places, but that's a lot of money, okay? So this is why the comparison is to investing, because you don't see the payoff right away, but you keep working at it diligently, chipping away, 10% of the paycheck every month, you keep working at it, and these are the real payoffs. So the main source of content that we all have is going to our events. You literally, in this job, in this industry, you never need to sit down in front of a blank screen and think of something to write. You never have to do that. All you have to do is repurpose the stuff we already have from our days, and that's your source of content, okay? The main thing, our bread and butter here, is going to be the real wedding write-up, which I'm going to talk specifically about in a second. But also, from your wedding, you can interview another vendor. If you really like the photographer and you want to work with them again, say, hey, would you like to be featured on my blog? You email them 10 questions, say, send me 2 pictures, copy and post that email with their responses to the questions. That's a blog post. That's it. That took you 2 seconds. You didn't even write anything. And that photographer is going to tell everybody, hey, guess what? I got featured on so-and-so's blog. And you're going to have a lot of traffic coming in. Okay, the other one I mentioned already is tips from the venue. These are just something you need to, like when you're at the cocktail hour, when you have a down minute or whatever, just take a couple of notes. How was the parking? How was the traffic? Should they get off at that exit instead of this exit? These are really, really valuable tips that you know what they're not going to find? They're not going to find that on Staley Creek. They're not going to find that kind of information on any other wedding blog. Those big blogs are wedding porn. They're tablescapes, dresses, and flowers. A little bit of hair. It's wedding porn, but they don't get anything that's the nitty-gritty of how to plan their wedding. And at the biggest event of your life, you think they're looking for nitty-gritty? Absolutely. And then you can also, of course, use music content. So if the bride gave you a super curated playlist for the cocktail hour, that's a piece of content. You made a remix for the grand entrance or the first dance or something, that's a piece of content. You recorded yourself playing live during the reception, again, that's a blog post, that's a video, that's an Instagram post, that's content. Okay, so I promised you we were going to talk more about the real wedding write-ups. This is the nitty-gritty of that. So every time you write up a real event, you want to make sure to focus on your keyword phrase, which is going to be the name of the venue plus wedding. You do not see the word DJ in there. You don't need the word DJ in there. People that are looking for venues will eventually be looking for you. So you don't need to make it sound like weird English with Coronado Community Center wedding DJ. You're not the resident there. Don't write that. It sounds awkward. So you want to have this keyword phrase, venue plus wedding, that should be in your title. It should be in the actual URL of the page. It should appear in the first sentence. You want to have it like 3 to 4 times in a blog post, but it definitely needs to be one of those 3 or 4 times. Definitely one of them needs to be in the first sentence, okay? And then I use it here in the subheading, Coronado Community Center Wedding Ceremony, okay? All I've done is I literally just copied and pasted my wedding outline. I'm telling you, you literally don't have to write. Don't have to write, okay? And then you can see again, I have it there in the next paragraph. And then another important thing are the anchor links. Those are those things you see here in blue, where I just copy, or I just highlight a piece of text, and I link it to one of my other pages on my site. So I'm using kind of like this web, this intranet to keep them on my site longer, right? So here it says San Diego Wedding DJ, which links to my sales page. Here, my organized and detailed outline, so they click on that, it opens up a sample outline. Down here, cocktail and dinner playlist, links to my blogs, all my playlist blogs. Okay, those are your anchor links. And in the back end, when you load up an image, there will be a field that says alt text. Make sure you put the keyword in there too. Let's talk a minute about floor plans. Again, biggest event of your life, they are going to look for every wedding they can find that has ever happened at their venue. And they want to know what colors did they pick? Did they put the bar over there, or did they put the bar over here? Did they choose that lighting, or did they choose this lighting? They want to research, I mean, anybody having a wedding is going to want to do the same stuff. Super important that you put a copy of the floor plan in your blog post, because nobody else is doing that. None of the big blogs, the wedding mag, they're not giving you that kind of nitty-gritty to actually plan the event. They're giving you the wedding porn only. And in addition to that, also want to make sure before you even upload the image to the blog post that you've already changed the title to be Coronado Community Center Wedding Floor Plan.jpg. So the keywords are in the image and in the alt text. And let's talk about YouTube. People are not going to YouTube to shop, to buy stuff, generally speaking. But as DJs, there's a couple of things that we can still use YouTube for and have a presence there. Of course, creating playlists. You can rip your Instagram highlights, like a gig log of a certain venue. Let's say you've done 3 weddings at the Coronado Community Center. You can take all your Instagram highlights, put that into a video, and it's 3 real weddings at the Coronado Community Center. People will definitely click on that. That's the kind of stuff brides are researching. It's helpful with brand recognition, just to even have a few videos. For me personally, my most popular video is 10 critical questions brides and grooms fail to ask wedding DJs. And basically what happens is when somebody clicks on my contact button, it takes them to that confirmation page afterwards. That page says, thanks for contacting me, here's some free swag. And I give them this video, and then I give them a free ebook. And people, I'd say probably half the people that contact me watch the video. And I can tell because they ask me the questions that I tell them to ask in the video. You know what I'm saying? Ask me what record pools I belong to. You know what I'm saying? No blogger is going to tell a bride to search for a DJ like that, because bloggers don't know. We know, right? Bloggers don't know. Okay, I'm going to shift to Pinterest. If you're in the wedding industry, Pinterest is just not optional. It's just not, okay? You have to be on Pinterest. This is a traffic sources going to my blog, and you can see Pinterest is all the other social platforms combined do not generate as much traffic as Pinterest, okay? So Pinterest is 34,000 hits, Facebook number 2, 2,600. Huge difference, okay? And like I was saying, Pinterest is really going to be like your retirement plan here. So it doesn't take a lot of effort, but it will be the nest egg that pays off. This is how Pinterest works if you're not really familiar. You're going to create a piece of content. We'll say playlist, okay? You're going to make an image. You're going to type the name of the playlist on the image. You're going to pin that to Pinterest, okay? That's this part. You're going to pin it to Pinterest. While it's there, people are going to look at the playlist. They're going to go, oh, I want to save that for my wedding. And they're going to save it on their wedding boards, okay? Each time they save it to their wedding board, that's making a copy of the pin. So instead of just having one of your pins, now there's 5 of them. Each one of those pins, if you click on it, leads to the source of the pin. It leads back to your website, okay? So now instead of having one door leading to the website, and we have 5 doorways. You see, we're just widening the doorway. Come in, okay? Come in and buy something. And another cool thing about Pinterest is they send out free email blasts, okay? Let's say right now I go onto Pinterest and I type San Diego wedding. Tomorrow, in my inbox from Pinterest, I will have an email that says, here are 10 more San Diego wedding pins you might like. They are literally putting you in front of your target market at the time when they are shopping for you for free. Can you imagine if Google did this? Mind-blowing, right? These are some sample pins if you're still like, oh, I don't know what to do. Image, tall and vertical, put your logo in the bottom corner, and then just type the name of the pin on the pin. And Mike, who's in the top left from Elite Entertainment, is 2 hours. Pins should be 1,000 pixels wide, 1,500 pixels tall at minimum. Okay, you can make them longer if you want, but I wouldn't make them any thinner. And you can, I would recommend, again, because we're in the wedding industry, I don't think it's really necessary if you're like a plumber, but in the wedding industry, you want to make a business card pin, and you want to put that on your homepage. You're gonna put your phone number on it, you're gonna put your website address on it, you're gonna put your email address on it, and it should just say something like this one says, this is the kick-ass DJ that I saw and I'm saving for later. So if they come across you in those venue searches, and they want to save you, you've made it really, really easy, because 90% of us probably don't even have any pinnable images on our homepage, and this will ensure that that's never a problem. If they want to save you, there will be an image that they can save. Videos have been available on Pinterest for a couple of years now, but they really have not like taken off. Like, you know, they introduced something new on Instagram and Reel, you know, everybody's doing Reels like a month later, right? Has not really been this way with videos on Pinterest, but they are super easy to use. I recommend Placeit. I'm going to show that this is a video template from Placeit, but you can customize the colors, you can put your logo, you can the custom fonts, you can add your own music, customize literally everything. So this is a sample of one of their templates. There's sound, but I'm not connected to the sound. So they look great. They have Instagram, like square sizes. They have the wide, like Facebook banner videos, if you want to go that route. And I mean, there's just infinite number of different pre-made templates that you can use. And that's the code if you guys want to go over it. Everybody got it? Instagram, who can explain day trading? Because I feel like probably not everybody here knows what day trading is. Anybody know what day trading is? Go ahead. Yeah, sometimes day traders only hold in their stocks for like an hour or a few minutes, honestly. Okay? So day trading is like having a freaking newborn. You have to be, like, these are the people that are like glued to the screens all day watching like the market, literally like every little dip and everything. Okay, so I'm gonna assume, kind of based on that you guys already understand that maybe, you know, you should be posting a story, and I've already told you you need to be using hashtags and how real. Okay, I'm gonna assume you guys already know the basics. So for today, I'm just gonna do 3 like kind of content tips for Instagram, and that's gonna be our Instagram. So first thing I wanted to talk about is taking pictures in the dark, because that's so important for us in particular. Have you seen the pictures where they kind of have like the lights like trailing and making kind of a line or whatever? Those are long exposure, and you can actually do those from your phone if you get a long exposure app. There's one called Manual Camera for Google Play, and I think it's built in if you have Apple. You can put masking tape over the flash on your cell phone, okay? Not duct tape, not clear tape, it needs to be masking because it kind of lowers the intensity of the light, so they're not getting that deer in the headlights. It's super annoying, but you're still getting like enough light to give it some exposure. You'll want to use something called HDR mode, high dynamic range. This is also recommended for taking dark pictures. And then this is what the picture is. There's a thing on your camera that's called ISO, and you want to slide that down to 400. Now, if you have a photo booth, you might already have these similar settings in your photo booth because they're probably preset that way when you buy it. But if not, check your photo booth as well to make sure. Okay, the next thing I wanted to talk about, which I do not see a lot of DJs doing, and these are super, super easy, is these kind of desktop photos. So you're going to start here with just a foam board and some props. You want to do this by a sunny window. If you don't have a sunny window, you can like open a door, but don't go outside the direct light, just be like in the doorway with the light. And you'll take a picture looking down on it like this, and then you just edit it to increase the brightness and stuff. So this is a great way to do some wedding NBA posts. You can do one with your badge, the headphones on there, you know, I've got some lipstick and a drink, and you can do like 20 of these in a few minutes. Just have different props there, and you can make a bunch of these. Okay, let's talk about, I said I would tell you about this a little bit later, blog content on Instagram. This, again, is Digital DJ Tips, that hashtag I mentioned, hashtag DDJT. This is their site. They do this all the time. They're the masters of this. But they write a 3,000 word blog post, and then they'll condense it down into like 8 Instagram tiles. Just these are the 8 tips. 8 tips from this wedding venue, and you just make it Instagram content. Okay, so you're just gonna pull out only the subheadings, right, or just the meat of it, and that's how you can put your blog stuff on Instagram. All right, let's talk about bonds. When you think of bonds, you think of like retired people, right? Are you guys not investors? Bonds are generally like this much higher than savings accounts, okay? That's why I've equated this with Facebook, because this is kind of something we associate with like retired people. So traffic to Facebook has been down. I'm sure this is not really a surprise to anybody, but it's super down in the United States particularly. Traffic in like third world countries is still growing on Facebook, but my point is, people that are getting married today may have never, at any point in their life, had a Facebook account. They don't need that. They don't care about that. It's not of interest in any way. Okay? Now I want to take a little side note to say, and I say this with love, there are people in our industry that are pioneers, are founding parents who are getting up in the years, and they're focusing their attention on Facebook. Now my sincere advice, with love, your audience is on Instagram. If you want to talk to other over-the-hill DJs, you can keep doing that on Facebook. But your clients are on Instagram. This is what I recommend for Facebook, because sometimes parents are paying for the wedding. Sometimes parents want to check and make sure, and they're going to check your Facebook. So what I would recommend is just connect your Instagram to your Facebook, and you can auto-post everything that goes to your Instagram, you just auto-post it to your Facebook. Anytime you create a piece of content, a YouTube video, a blog post, you can share that to your Facebook page. You don't need to create any content specific to Facebook. All right, this is our crypto for today. Okay, where are my crypto people at? Oh, okay, crypto you guys know. All right, Coinbase. All right, cool. Okay, so TikTok is kind of like our crypto. You can't really invest a lot in this right now, but you need to be there, right? So what I recommend, TikTok to me is kind of like Snapchat was like 5 years ago. We were like, oh, do we need to get on Snapchat now? Like, are we going to be booking brides through Snapchat in a few years? We didn't know. It didn't really happen. I would say Snapchat's moment has passed, right? So TikTok is kind of on that verge too. Like, it could go that way, or it could go the way of Instagram. I really don't know. But what I would recommend is when you have a video and you're going to post it to your Instagram story, ask yourself, could this work as TikTok content? I did hashtag 100 days of scratching, and I realized somewhere around day 41 that, wait a minute, I could post these on TikTok, and then from TikTok I could repost them to Instagram, right? So, repurposing content. So from TikTok, you can put the scratching videos, and then you can repost them to Instagram, and that's taking care of your content. Okay, so I have put together kind of like a bundle of social media content ideas, like a year's worth of, like a year-long calendar. If this is of interest to anybody, you can click you can visit the QR code and I'll show you everything that's included. I also threw in a video of me speaking at the DJ Expo in August, if you didn't have a chance to be there. And with that, I am open for questions.
Ooh. You're supposed to warn me that you're doing Q&A.
I always bring
Quick
a
one.
timer, so I appreciate you giving me like my heads up. But. Okay, yes.
When you use the floor plan in content, does the venue come back and cause any problems with the?
So,
I've never had a problem. I'm promoting them for free.
So
I don't
here's
think
what-
anyone's floor plan is a secret.
here's what we're going to do, Stacy. I'm going to run as fast as I can. mic, but if I can't get the mic to the question and you hear the question, repeat it for the room.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, the same row. I'm coming to you. Blue shirt? Yes? Okay, gray shirt.
So, quick question. Are you going to be providing these slides for us? If we
You can
them?
email me. I'm not gonna lie. I will send you my PayPal link because
I
I
got you.
don't get
Same
paid
as-
to come here, and I came here from Cancun, Mexico. I had to fly through New York to get here, so I will include my PayPal link. But yes, my slides are certainly available.
Thank you.
But yeah, there'll be a deal.
No, you missed the point. You should have said gracias for Cancun, Mexico. Okay, I got you.
Hey Stacy, great job. What is your favorite way to authentically connect with potential clients?
I think I really cannot oversell this enough. Put your camera on selfie mode and talk to people. Tell them the story. Like for example, with my running thing this morning. You can see I was pretty pumped, right? I am still super pumped about this. I turn the camera around to myself, I have no makeup on, I'm sweating, I'm wheezy, and I tell the camera, oh my god, I'm here with the female heptathletes, I used to be a high jumper, I'm super stoked. My natural enthusiasm for that moment is infectious. People love seeing that kind of energy on social platforms, right? So that is a time when I'm like, oh, this is a moment when I can just, I should just talk right to people. I can just do the screenshots of oh, this is the time and whatever. It will be so much more impactful if I can show people, how extremely excited I am for this moment. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
That's okay, go ahead, I'll go
Sorry.
right after you, no worries.
This is also really great for Tuesdays in off-season.
Right. Stacy, I think everyone's asking that you kindly repeat the question. That's,
Oh, yes, okay.
FYI, that's what you told me to
No,
say.
you're right. You're absolutely right. The question was about in the off season. So I feel like one of the things you want to do is kind of like a squirrel saving your nuts. You want to have okay, I only post 50% of the pictures from my gigs during the busy season, and I save the rest over here for Tuesdays and for my low season, and you can hey, flashback to oh, it's been 6 months since this, and those kind of things. Okay, so you don't want to post everything from that gig on that day right away. Another thing you can do, like the desktop images, you can use those kind of things anytime. Okay, and it's not wrong to use stock images. You just can't use them all the time. But let's say you're going to do one of those blog posts where you're going to have writing over it. You can use a stock image for that. That's not, the image is not the main selling point for that. Another thing that I definitely recommend if you haven't done this already, hire a professional photographer and do a photo shoot. I mean, really, this is something that you guys need to do every year. And photographers, so pick one you like and make a deal.
Stacy, we're going to get your last question here, but quickly I see the hands. I'm almost positive that Stacy will be hanging around in the back to chat after this last question.
Absolutely.
Regarding the professional photographer, bring lots of change of clothes so that you can use them all year long.
This question, my name is Max from DJ California. Quick question about, it was in regards to the oversaturation with one social media to the other and everything. Currently what I'm actually doing is Instagram is my primary post, but since I have an interlink between both of them, I just kind of just said, hey, shoot it over to Facebook and then call it a day. Is that good practice to do still?
That's what I do. I mean, I just feel like you need to have a pulse on Facebook. In some markets, people are getting leads from Facebook. Okay, I'm not if you're in Nebraska, people are still using Facebook. Okay, in San Diego, Iowa. I only say this because where I live in Cancun, everything is still on Facebook. Okay, so I know. happens from time to time. Obviously shift, okay? For me, this is how long it's taking me to think of when I even had a contact from Facebook. I can't even remember the last time. So for me to just auto post, that's not gonna be a problem. And usually the people that are like married to Facebook are not married to Instagram too. They pick one or the other. So if you have content that the similar content is on both, I don't see that that's going to be too much of a problem. I think Scott said that's my last question, so I'm not going to remember.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, we have more for Wedding MBA. So stretch, and we'll be